Hey guys, we're at the Indie Mix at E3 2016. I am with.
Jarrett Slavin.
Hey man, I'm Jared,
I'm Aaron.
and we're talking about a little game called.
Mekazoo.
So please give us a basic idea of what the game is. Right now, it's coming to Wii U. Is that true?
It will be coming to Wii U, indeed, before the end of the year. It will. And Mekazoo, you want me to just give you a description, general description?
Yeah, definitely. Awesome.
All right. Well, it's basically 2.5D platformer, 2D platformer, 3D worlds. Plays a total of 5 different animals. We call them Mekanimals. Kind of like mecha animals. Got it. You unlock one at a time. You start with just an armadillo. You fight a big bad boss version of the one you're about to unlock. And then you play like a solo level of the next animal, and then you combine them in pairs. You switch on the fly, touch of a button, back and forth. Very fast, very flowy, as little thought as possible, as much flow and kind of connection to the controller as possible. And just kind of a fast, flowy throwback kind of retro experience, updated for the 21st century, and kind of the game we all wish existed as kids. So.
Very cool. What are some of the big influences on the game?
Oh man, well Donkey Kong, like the first time I played the SNES Donkey Kong Country, just the like shock I had from that, like the beauty, like the just like glossiness of it, is definitely something aesthetically we were going for. Flowy gameplay was huge for us. Kind of the feeling I got when I was a kid and I played Sonic on Genesis, as opposed to like when I go back and play it now and I'm like, I don't know, man. But this is Nintendo, so you guys are fine with like Sonic back.
Yeah. Sonic's on our side now.
Right, Sonic's on your side.
Yeah.
So, so we were going for like that feeling that we had when we were kids. That like sometimes we'll play games that we played when we were kids now as adults, and they won't have the same magic for us as adults as like those same exact. We're like, what we played this game like this is the same cartridge that I had in my Genesis or my SNES when I was 10 years old, but it feels like a different game now. It feels like I'm not as like pumped up by it. We wanted to make a game that could like pump people up in like a childlike way, without having to be like 12 years old. So kind of that's what we want to do with Mekazoo. We just want to kind of capture people's kind of childhood awe, sensation, and just that feeling of just being so engrossed in something that you just can't look away. And on the other hand, kind of having a really specifically designed experience. Like it doesn't have any procedural generation. Everything is designed moment by moment, and the game is like fairly linear. It has a start, it has a finish. It has a lot of replay value with cooperative multiplayer, couch co-op, not online. And lots of replay value as far as like medals you can collect, speed run type stuff, perfect run, defeat all of a certain type of enemy, things like that. And those function kind of like Mario Stars and like Mario 64, where you unlock levels and then unlock secret levels by kind of doing extra well in the normal levels. And we just wanted to. It still has a limited shelf life though. Like we don't want you to necessarily play the same game for the rest of your life. That's not our goal as a company. Like we're happy for you to move on and play another game, or so we wanted to make a tight, really great start to finish experience. While you're playing it, you just are in love with it, and then you always remember it, and you don't have to play. Like we're not trying to get you like addicted to to a competitive online multiplayer experience. It's going to eat away like 150 hours a week of your time. So we kind of value people's times in the real world. So as a video game company, it sounds like it's almost like paradoxical, but for us it's like people are going to be playing video games no matter what, and we love video games, and we want to establish their place in society as like a healthy diversion and not a replacer of real life, I guess. So yeah, it's our grand goal.
I must say, you've got me really hyped for this game.
Thank you. I'm glad. That's our goal.
So I played this game for probably about an hour so far, and I think definitely the Donkey Kong Country and the Sonic influences definitely come across. And but On the other hand, it does control a little bit differently than those types of games. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so it's we call it kind of easy to pick up and difficult to master. There's very few buttons. Kind of that's definitely an inspiration for Sonic. From Sonic, kind of in the sense that like the first time I played Sonic and I tried out all the different buttons, I realized they all do the same thing, which I found interesting because like I get to choose whichever button like kind of feels the best to me. So the only buttons in Mekazoo are transform and action and move, obviously, and pause. Does that count as a button? Not really. So it's very simple. It's you don't switch, like you'll have 5 animals unlocked at the end, but you never have to choose between the 5 animals. It's always like our level design is tight enough that like you can like we wanted to design levels specifically for certain pairs of animals instead of this kind of lowest common denominator kind of just like giant corridor where anyone can kind of do anything. So while there's a lot of ways to get through each section of each level, and there's also secret switchers, you can come back after you've unlocked later animals. You can go back to earlier levels and find new paths and just new ways to get through the old paths with the new animals. But it's, yeah, I mean, the thing is the action button is depends on which animal you are. So, and obviously the switch button depends on which backup animal you have. So it's only 2 buttons, but there's a lot of depth because it's all kind of in a way context sensitive, which I feel like is almost a dirty word nowadays, context sensitive. But all it means is that, for instance, those green posts that you saw as you were playing are contextually sensitive depending on which animal you are, you know? So you look at the post and you're like, well, if you have the wallaby and the frog, do I want to bounce off the top of it or do I want to swing from it? And that's the context. You're creating it. So it's free-flowing. You have a lot of choice, but the linearity provides that kind of structure that drives you forward constantly.
And I guess you can actually play the game with just one hand?
Oh, yeah. You definitely can. You can. I mean, because there's only... I mean, you can use the bumper to switch, and you can use a trigger for action. So you can use, trigger, switch, and movement. I wouldn't do it, but if you have to do something else with your other hand, if you have to like hold your baby or cook dinner while you're playing Mekazoo or something, it's possible. Possible. You can also do co-op on one controller if you want. Especially like that's something we're planning on with the Wii U, where if you're like playing just on the gamepad, one person is holding one side of the gamepad, one person is holding the other side, and it's kind of a symmetrical control scheme, so you can actually do that. Did you have a chance to play co-op?
I haven't played co-op yet, no.
Yeah, so I mean, what co-op does is basically just splits the controls between 2 controllers. So you can basically steal control. So one player has control of the current animal, and they can do the action and the movement. And then the other player has just control of the switch button, so they can basically steal control. Once they steal control, they have the action and the movement, and then the other player can steal control at any time. So it kind of tells, it reveals a lot about your relationship with the person you're playing with. And it's because it's couch co-op and not multiplayer, you end up, not online, you end up with this really interesting like communication where you're like, come on, no switch, no, don't switch, no, don't take control. You're kind of like yelling at each other at the beginning, and then once you kind of understand each other's kind of instincts, you start to stop talking, and you're like, wow, like we're inside each other's minds right now. And it's actually a really interesting way to like build a relationship with somebody. So it's turned into a very interesting project. It's become like more than we even thought it was going to be, and we thought it was going to be a lot. So I'm excited.
Yeah, so it's been in development for a few years now, right?
It has, about over 3 years now. Yeah. It started as a student project.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And has it evolved drastically, or has the sort of core idea started?
The fundamental, aside from adding co-op, which we originally had no multiplayer at all, it was just going to be all single player. And then we got to a point where a lot of people in the office were like, no, we're not adding like multiplayer, like my head's gonna explode, no. And I'm like, dude, it's so easy. You just split you reassign the buttons to different controllers. It'll take 1 day of work, and it worked, and it's really fun. And it was really easy to implement, and it kind of added a whole new dimension to the game. Other than that, honestly, like even the set of the 5 animals have been set from like the beginning of production. We had a 6th animal we had to cut just for scope, We will be adding it back in for a certain DLC.
Okay.
But yeah, that's in the works. Other DLC is in the works. But for now, just focus on main release in September.
All right.
So yeah.
Cool. Well, we're excited.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Is it releasing simultaneously on multiple
And
platforms?
so it's actually the Wii U. We wanted to release them all at once.
Yeah.
Nintendo's Unity support was a little shaky for a little while.
Sure.
We've gotten in better touch with them lately, and they've ironed out all the issues. So our blocks from getting the Wii U version done are now not there. So we will be able to get out before the end of the year, that was our real big goal, to make sure we get the Wii U version out. We are not. We love Wii U. I love Nintendo. This game is we know perfectly suited for Nintendo. We'll be doing the whole gamut. We'll be doing amiibos for Mekazoo and all that kind. We'll be doing special Nintendo themed costumes. So we'll have little kind of Wii U special features
Awesome.
to kind of make up for, and also kind of the hack. Just being able to play co-op on the gamepad, which is a natural feature. It doesn't actually involve any kind of dev work at all, but it's something you will be able to do because the Wii U gamepad is the Wii U gamepad. So while it will be released a month or two after the console, PC, and Mac, whatever versions, it will be worth it, I promise.
All right.
All right.
Well,
Yeah.
looking forward to it. Thank
Cool.
you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.